Hurricane Nate. We're just barreling through the Gulf of Mexico and on its way to the Gulf Coast. Already it has left a path of destruction in Nicaragua. You can see the damage that it's done. Boats swept aground, some crashing into buildings, roads washed away by the powerful winds and rain. It slammed into beach cities like Cancun overnight as it crossed the Yucatan Peninsula.
And this is where Nate is headed now. States of emergency have been declared in Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi. And some towns are facing curfews or mandatory evacuation orders. Hurricane and tropical storm warnings are in effect right now from New Orleans to the Florida Panhandle, with Nate expected to make landfall in less than 24 hours.
Bracing for that, we have team coverage this morning, but we begin with ABC's senior meteorologist Rob Marciano, who is tracking the storm for us from the studio this morning. Rob, good morning.
Good morning, Paula. Category 1, potentially Category 2 storm. Do not discount this storm, considering the destruction it's already done and the path it's going to take. Right now, about 300 miles off the coast of southeast Louisiana, and heading in that direction at 22 miles an hour. So this one is moving much faster than the other storms this year. And so we'll be getting tropical storm conditions later on this afternoon, with rain bands approaching New Orleans, Mobile, even Pensacola, and then making landfall sometime late tonight as Category 1, maybe a 2. In the early morning hours. And then look at this, goes across Birmingham and up through the Northeast. So everybody's going to get a piece of this. Let's zoom in a little bit closer, show you where the winds are going to be. This is a lopsided storm, so most of the winds are going to be east of the center. But look at New Orleans, dangerously close to that center. We could see storm surges up to 8 or 9 feet. The Crescent City certainly vulnerable to hurricanes, and that's where we find ABC's Steve Osunsami this morning. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning to you, Rob. Just a bit ago, we were at Lake Pontchartrain, hoping to broadcast live from there, but had to hurry onto this location because this morning the floodgates are closed in anticipation of this storm. This now hurricane is coming to this region at a bad time because of the east wind and because of high tides. There is already water on some of the roadways in low-lying areas. This deadly storm would not let up overnight in Central America, washing away roads and homes. Nearly 24 people across this region have lost their lives. In Nicaragua, it came to this: stranded families using ropes to get out of the rushing floodwaters. There was so much moving water, it opened up this giant sinkhole. The storm is now strengthened into a Category 1 hurricane, and it's now speeding towards American cities on the Gulf Coast. This is now a state of emergency from Louisiana to Georgia. Thousands of families are under a mandatory evacuation this morning.
We do not know exactly where it will land, and so we're preparing for the worst.
In Louisiana, President Trump has approved the governor's pre-disaster emergency declaration. Federal resources are now available.
No one should take this storm lightly.
In New Orleans, families already dealing with water from the high tides are more than frustrated that a dozen of the city's drainage pumps are not working. Billy Ross packed up and left last night, but not before putting everything he had up high.
If you don't pick it up, you'll lose it by the flood.
6 feet of storm surge, he loses everything. He's expecting 5.
When they tell you to get out, get out. But once you get trapped in, ain't nobody coming to help you.
City leaders in New Orleans, Mobile, Biloxi, they're all telling residents that this morning now is the time to finish preparations for this storm. Here in New Orleans, they're offering sandbags at every fire station in town. John and Paula?
Yeah, as the officials say, preparing for the absolute worst. Steve Osunsami, thanks for your reporting from New Orleans this morning.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.